So, disclaimer, all the results in this video are my results using my rifle, my range, my shooting capability. Your mileage very well and probably 100% will vary from the results that I get. This is just me, my rifle, the specific ammo I was using, all that sort of thing, right? And right off the rip, I am not a very good shot. I'm just going to come out there and say I'm not a very good shot. But with that being said, let's get into it. So we're taking a break from the Remington Rolling Block project to talk about what I kind of consider, it's a mix between like a popular debate topic and FUD lore. So I've got a very, very, very good friend, and him and I are always talking shit to each other practically about steel case versus brass case ammo, because he's been an AR guy for a long time and I've been an AK guy for a very long time, and if you can't tell. But with that being said, when I shoot AKs and things like that, I almost exclusively go for steel case just because it's cheap, and to be quite honest with you, I never really expect a whole bunch of accuracy out of my AKs. That's just me. Mostly when I go out to the range, I go out for fun. You know, it's something fun to do. I don't get out to the range as much as I should. But during our debates and our talks and stuff like that, we came across a hypothetical scenario where the accuracy of brass case versus steel case at 200 yards and less would come into question. So I figured that would be something fun to put to the test while I've got a free day today. So that's exactly what I did. I just recently got into ARs. I've owned, this will make number 3 ARs that I've ever owned. The other 2 are gone. I sold those a long time ago. But this is my rifle. This is a HK MR556A1 on top of an LMT Mars lower with a TA01 ACOG on there. I wanted, if you can't tell, I wanted the most AK AR there was out there. But I decided I was going to go to the shooting range and I was going to do 2 things. So first, I did 5 100-yard groups, both steel is over here, brass is over here, and then 5 50-yard groups. Steel is over there, brass is over there, and then go from there, right? So let's cut to the shooting part of this, and I'm going to speed it up because I find it really boring when people put clips of them shooting in videos. It's not the same as being there. So put that on here, speed it up, we'll get through it. Okay, so the way that this debate all came about was talking about, in a civilian situation, having to put hits on a target at 200 yards and less, and the results in that situation that you would get between brass and steel case ammunition. So my buddy, he was saying basically that steel case ammunition is so inconsistent, either through manufacturing, handling, storage, all that sort of thing, that the amount of shots required to put on target a single hit would render it, for as cheap as it is, practically ineffective. That, and then its inherent accuracy loss, right? Versus brass case, which is more accurate. I don't know. But this is the exact ammunition that was used today. So this is Wolf Military Classic 223, and its lot number is K852011-09. And then the brass case ammunition used today is American Eagle, is made by Federal, and its lot number, this is also a 223, its lot number is 474784X322. And these are both what would be considered budget plinking, range ammunition. This is not match grade ammunition. This is just off the shelf. Go to wherever you buy ammo from nowadays. I don't even think you can find it, but go to wherever you buy it from and then just buy this crap because it's fun and you can shoot it, right? And, you know, I know that Hornady is now making a match grade steel case ammunition in 5.56, which I think is pretty interesting. And I've somewhere around here I've actually got a box of match grade 9.3 by 6.4 Brennecke in steel case, which is also kind of weird. But I know for a long time though, match grade ammunition has been made in brass cases. So enough of that, whatever. But I wanted to put that debate to the test because, you know, I kind of personally expected both ammunitions to pretty much perform the same, considering that you know, at the time when they were bought, they were considered low budget, you know, blasting ammo. And I said, okay, you know, whatever, let's put it to the test. And I am always down to learn new things, and I basically kind of invited myself to eat those words. But here's our target. Right here. So over on the left, this is our steel case ammo, and over on the right, this is our brass case ammo. So at 100 yards, our steel case got 4.43 MOA, and at 100 yards, our brass case got 3.65 MOA. That's pretty close. You can see that the point of impact shifted a little bit, and when I was aiming directly at the dead center X. All right. So you can see that on the steel case there is a wider dispersion, but over here on the brass case it's just shifted its POI. It's still pretty close, it's just shifted over. And then over here at the 50 yard, I know that there's an extra one in here, but again, shooting directly at the X, you can see that our POI between the two is low over here. Same over here on the brass, but it's also shifted over here to the right, just like with the 100 yard. What's interesting to me to see is the difference between the 50 yard dispersion and the 100 yard dispersion. This is pretty close. You know, you can see that the group opens up as the distance goes farther. Now over here, and this is probably my shooting error, but our 3-round and our 2-round groups look like they trade places at 100 yards. So you got 3 rounds close together up top, and 2 rounds kind of close together down low, versus 3 rounds very close together down low, and 2 rounds close together kind of sort of towards the top. Pretty interesting though. So yeah, that was a fun little test. So is steel case less accurate? In this test it is. Moving on from that topic here, let's talk about what the Army and the military consider quote-unquote accurate for the average, you know, rifleman, infantryman, whatever you want to call them, right? So I came across this pretty interesting study, or it's a thesis, written by Christopher J. Kidd when he was stationed at Fort Leavenworth in 2005, and it is called Army Direct Fire Accuracy, Precision, and Its Effects on the Battlefield. And so this is it's like a 90-something page thesis that goes over trying to rectify accuracy issues in a military sense dating back to World War I and even farther back towards Columbus, using some of their sources. But what they were trying to do is mainly dwindle down on the amount of firepower needed to, the military in general needed to neutralize a single target. So with that being said, they wanted to increase first round hit probability and minimize collateral damage, because when this was written they were still in Operation Iraqi Freedom, and then, you know, house to house, room to room clearing, that type of thing. And so they made a good point. They're just like, you know, you can't bring down a whole building just because there's one guy with an RPG in there, because there's also 8 families in there. And you also just can't fire a coax machine gun into, you know, like a group of people just because there's one bad guy. But they also made the point that the opposing side was doing the same thing. They were the ones that were trying to win through volume of firepower. So in 2004, what the statistic was at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, was that only 4 to 6% of people there, you know, recruits, enlisted members, were able to qualify as expert on their marksmanship range. And expert is, at least as at the time of this, is 36 hits on 40 targets, and those targets are E-type silhouettes, at least at the 100 and 200 meter portions. They're E-type. The E-type is 40 inches tall by 19.5 inches wide, and the distances are 50 meters all the way out to 300 meters, and in American that's 80 yards to 327 yards. And you're given 4 mags with only 10 rounds each. So that's what expert qualifies as. So in 2004, only 4 to 6% at Fort Sill were able to qualify that, which I found that pretty interesting. And again, they wanted to move away from volume of firepower and accuracy, which is why they started issuing out the TA-01. They started, issuing a lot of night vision devices, PEQ lasers, all those sort of things, right? But they also made a very clear point in this study that all the technology that they gave these soldiers didn't matter whatsoever if they didn't have basic marksmanship training. And so they also made it's the correlation between, you can give somebody all the technology that they want, but if they don't know how to use it, who cares? It's not going to make a difference. So, and I'm sure all of you have heard the news that they've reconfigured their marksmanship training to include a lot more of the basics, a lot more of the fundamentals. There's a lot less instruction. If you have a jam or a misfeed or a malfunction, you have to clear it, all those sort of things. So it's adding into the more realistic scenarios of basic marksmanship training. So something interesting though, that they're moving away from volume of firepower to precise, accurate hits on target. So with that being said, again, with today's test, I'm happy with the results. I mean, did I expect it? Not really. I didn't expect it to be that big of a difference, but I am a sample size of 1 with 1 rifle to sample size at, and I'm also using only 1 lot each of bottom of the barrel ammunition. So your mileage will vary, and I'm interested to see what ends up coming from somebody that's a much better shot than I am, and that can actually put like repeatable scientific results and see what the actual true broad results are. But again, these are just my results. So I had a lot of fun doing this. I think it was a fun little debate. So yeah, will I switch over from steel case? Probably not anytime soon, because I got a shitload of it and it's really cheap. Will I go to the range more? Yes, because obviously I'm not super great. I grew up with my dad doing 100, 200, 300, and 400 yard centerfire rifle, and I got out of it for a long time because I got real busy with work and with school and all that sort of thing, and yeah, kind of got out of touch. So that will be what I'll end up doing. I'll just go to the range more. So thanks for watching this long rambling video, and I hope it was entertaining and fun, and happy building.